Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to look at language just a little bit differently. I want you to imagine yourself not just as a speaker or a writer, but as an architect. And, just like any master architect trying to build a really stable, beautiful structure, you need a reliable blueprint. Without it, well, you basically just have a pile of bricks. But with it, you can build meaning that stands tall and clear. Today, we are going to master the ultimate linguistic blueprint, the SVO structure. Okay, let's dive into this.
Here is our agenda for today. Anatomy of a sentence. Meet the subject. Spotting the action verb. The receiving object. Putting it all together, and finally, exceptions and common mistakes. I promise you by the end of this explainer, you are going to be absolute masters of sentence structure.
Section 1. Anatomy of a sentence. Let's start right at the foundation of our architectural structure.
So, the definition of a sentence is actually wonderfully simple. It's just a group of words that gives complete meaning. It's not a random jumble of vocabulary. If I walk up to you and just say, Ali, cricket, plays, your brain has to work way too hard to figure that out, right? But Ali plays cricket instantly makes sense. Every meaningful sentence needs this underlying structure, and our core formula relies on three main characters to bring that complete meaning to life. Section 2, meet the subject. Now the detective work begins. We need to hunt down our very first building block. I want you to imagine this one colored in a bright, vibrant blue.
The subject is the undisputed star of the sentence. It tells us exactly who or what is doing the action. If Ahmed writes neatly, Ahmed is our star. If my sister cooks dinner, my sister is the one driving the action. The subject is always the doer.
So, how do we actually find this bright blue block? Well, grab your detective hat, because you need to ask the specific question every single time you look at a sentence. Who is doing the action? Before you do literally anything else, ask who. Take this sentence, Fatima drinks milk. We immediately ask, who drinks? The answer is super clear, Fatima. And this brilliantly illustrates how asking who drinks gives us our blue subject, Fatima. We've successfully laid down our foundation.
Section 3, spotting the action verb. With our blue subject securely in place, we need to move on to the engine of the sentence. I want you to imagine this crucial block painted bright, fiery red.
The verb is what breathes life into our subject. It dictates the action or the state of being. Without it, the sentence has absolutely no momentum. Think of highly energetic actions like run, eat, write, study. These are the actual things happening in the sentence. Just like we had a tool to find the subject, we have a specific detective tool to isolate our red verb block. You just ask this exact question. What action is happening? Let's apply that right now. Ali plays football. We already know Ali is our blue subject, right? So we ask the verb question. What action is Ali actually performing? He plays. Plays is our action. It's the engine. We've just locked our bright red verb block perfectly into place. Section 4. The receiving object. We have the doer and we have the action, but often that action needs somewhere to land. We're going to visualize this final piece of our core structure as a solid green block. The object receives the action. It takes the full impact of the verb. Like if Ali kicks, well, what did he kick? He kicked the ball. The ball is the receiver. If the chef cooked rice. The ball and the rice are solid green blocks taking the direct impact of the action.
Here is your final detective clue to find that solid green block. Once you have your subject and your verb, simply ask what or whom the action is happening to. Let's test it out together. Ahmed reads a book. Ahmed is the subject. Reads is the verb. So we ask, Ahmed reads what? The answer is a book. Because the book is receiving the action of being read, it safely becomes our green object block. Our basic structure is totally complete.
Section 5, putting it all together. We have our three blocks. Let's move to and see how this builds out into our full sentence pattern.
Here is the three-step checklist you must use to lock in that subject, verb, and object. Step 1, ask who to find your doer. Step 2, ask what action to find your engine. Step 3, ask what or whom to find your receiver. It's a foolproof, logical sequence. And honestly, look at how beautifully this SVO structure works across completely different daily contexts. In Pakistan, Ammi cooks biryani. Ammi is our blue subject, cooks is our red verb, and biryani is our green object. Switch over to Saudi Arabia, Omar drinks Laban.
Omar is the subject, drinks is the verb, and Laban is the object. It organizes human thought perfectly, everywhere.
Section 6, Exceptions and Common Mistakes. Because let's be real, even great architects must know the limits and the common pitfalls of the materials they're using. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that we don't always need all three blocks. Sometimes, a verb is strong enough to stand entirely on its own without a green object block. Take the baby cried. The baby is the subject, cried is the verb. We don't need to ask cried what. The meaning is completely full. Same with birds fly. These work perfectly fine as just a subject plus a verb.
But here is where the blueprint really saves us. Consider a phrase like drinks Sarah milk. Unless you're literally Yoda from Star Wars, your brain instantly knows something is wrong. It sounds completely jumbled, right? The blocks are out of order. But apply the SVO blueprint. Sarah drinks milk, and boom, order is restored. Subject, verb, object.
Section 7. Practice identification. All right, time to challenge your inner architect and test those new detective skills.
Take a look at these three sentences. Hassan opened the door. The chef prepared kabsa. We watched a movie. I want you to mentally identify the blue, red, and green blocks right now. Who is doing the action? What is the action? What is receiving it? Got it? Okay, let's reveal it. Hassan, the chef, and we are your subjects. Opened, prepared, and watched are your verbs. And the door, kabsa, and a movie are your objects. If you got that right, you are officially nailing this.
So, the crucial point is this. Language isn't just about memorizing a bunch of random vocabulary. It's about knowing how to construct those words into sturdy, meaningful structures. The Subject, Verb, Object Toolkit gives you the power to analyze anything you read and perfectly construct any thought you want to share. Now that you have this blueprint in your hands, what meaning will you build today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.